Individuals who do drink, how are you able to limit yourself to just a couple and not result into 16-18ish beers? I liked being that buzzed feeling, but not spins. So as soon as I start to feel the buzz, I switch up and drink waters in between drinks. It'll slow you down and buzz, you'll be paying more attention to the people than the drinks anyway. My stomach physically cannot hold that much liquid. 16-18? I feel full just thinking about that much beer. I drank like you did until the 16-18 turned into 22 per day. It started affecting my performance with every aspect of my life, so I quit. It's not easy, but mentally and physically I'm in a much better place than when I was drinking. I just think of the hangover I'm gonna have and just can't keep drinking. If that doesn't work, the hangover will put me off it so much I physically find it difficult to get drunk for months afterwards. My system tells me I've had enough. Guess I'm among the lucky ones. No different from eating, or taking in some sun, or exercise. Well, I think the first step is awareness. I think you have an alcoholic problem, TBF. 16-18 is crazy. I enjoy the 2 beer buzz. So usually I have 1 or 2, let myself ride the buzz and go to bed. If I want to maintain it, I'll have a 3rd later on. Reason I don't drink more: don't like hangovers, don't like getting nauseous. I say this as an alcoholic. That's a lot of fucking beers. MH, how the hell is your stomach able to take all that? By not being an alcoholic. I don't say that from a place of self-righteousness, but as a person who went through it and knows how difficult it was to stop, get it under control. If you can have a few drinks, get your buzz and just stop. You shouldn't start in the first place. After college, my entire drinking experience was literally binging to the max, and that is when I had to curtail that shit to 0. I can't nurse a drink, just by not being an alcoholic. If you can't limit yourself once you start drinking, you probably shouldn't be drinking. My rule is 1 drink per hour and drink plenty of water between alcoholic drinks. Because I am an extreme lightweight, half a drink and I'm out. 18 drinks would probably kill me, and that's certainly not hyperbolic. If you have to ask this question, you'll probably never be able to limit yourself to just a couple drinks, and should probably stop drinking altogether. Sorry mate. Hey op, if that number is not an exaggeration, I am very concerned for your physical health. I personally struggle with alcohol consumption and I don't drink nearly as much as you can. If you consume that much, quitting cold turkey could kill you. Please seek medical help and don't beat yourself up. DM if you'd like. I'm not an alcoholic. It is unfortunately that simple. If you have trouble stopping once you start drinking, you need to stop completely. 16-18? WTF? Most I could do was 5, but when I was in university. Right now most I can do is 2 or 3. I just don't like alcohol anymore, but still love to drink few beers. Saw Dad drink a 24-pack a night for almost 30 years and all the health problems it caused. And that led to his eventual suicide, so I limit myself to a few drinks every now and then. And if I want to get drunk and have a good time, I will, but I know my limits pretty well. Also, beer is fucking gross. Liquor gets it done faster and I don't feel like I've got an entire ocean in my stomach. I hear you, brother. I've been down that path and I wish there was a trick, but I finally just had to quit. Doctor told me my kidneys were going bad. Good luck to you, folded hands. I'm physically incapable of drinking more than like 4 beers a night. I nurse a bunch of my drinks and I don't have that much time or energy to drink. Soda, after a few beers, start drinking cans of soda. The carbonation on a way tricks your body into thinking it's the same thing. That's what I did, and still do, because I'm not an alcoholic. If you can't just have a couple of beers, you should seek help. No shame in that. It's nearly impossible for me to drink without having the desire to get drunk. I can happily drink 6-8 double IPAs a day. I can drop drinking every so often. I have been doing a month on and a month off since the start of the year, and it's reduced my need for 6-8 down to 4 or 5 a night on my drinking months. I don't know how they do either, and it's impossible for me to. Either way, I'll see you in AA, bro. If you've come to this realization, then life goes one of 2 ways. A hard road of drinking and poor decisions until you die, or to rehab AA now with a chance at living out your hopes and dreams. Sorry to be bearer of bad news. I don't drink to become drunk, I dislike the sensation of being drunk. When I feel like I am becoming drunk, I stop. A nice cold beer on a hot day is wonderful, maybe even 2, but after that I stop and have no desire to continue drinking. I'm drinking a Red's Wicked Apple beer right now. Bought a couple from the store individually. I'll drink the other one, but just buying a small amount instead of like a case of 24 cans, or just a couple little liquor bottles instead of the liter bottles, keeps me from drinking too much. Smoking a bowl with the drinks helps out with limiting. 2. I try to keep myself full with food too, so I stop feel like drinking, or get sleepy and pass out before I keep going. It's too easy to keep going. If I see I already passed 5-6 beers, I might just start doing shots so I'll just knock out for the night, just to watch the calories. I never drink alone so I'm sure I can be held accountable. My family has a history of addiction and I'm on some antidepressants so I refuse to have more than 2 drinks a day. I just choose to have a limit. 4 drinks is my usual max if I want to get a little buzz. I might drink more on occasion, but real drunk isn't worth it. You get easily dehydrated, and hangovers suck. As I get older I think more and more about how hard the hangover is. That is enough to moderate how much I drink. Alcoholism is not a failure of willpower, it's a disease. Some people are able to have 1 or 2 drinks and stop, and some people just can't. If you're asking these kinds of questions, you're probably in the latter category. It's not your fault that you're wired that way, but you do have to address it before it kills you. I don't know how old you are but this has been my struggle for decades. Don't think I've ever had 16 drinks but regardless it's called a binging pattern. I didn't drink all that often but once I started I never wanted to stop. I never really learned how to so just finally decided to really give it up in my 40s. WTF, 16-18 beers? I'm 6 foot 250 pounds and if I drank 16 beers I'd be getting my stomach pumped at the hospital. That's some insane tolerance. You're pretty much at the 375 Smirnoff vodka level of drinking. In other words, alcoholism. Likely because I don't have the alcoholic gene. My husband is an alcoholic recovering and couldn't stop until he basically blacked out. But I can drink 1 5-alcoholic beverage for 3 hours and be satisfied. If you can't stop at 1, or 2, or even 3, you probably shouldn't be drinking at all BC it'll just take you downhill and be a long road to recovery. I get anxious if I get too tipsy because I don't want to lose control of myself. Pretty easy to stop once the fear kicks in. Why? I have zero desire and don't enjoy feeling drunk. 1 or 2 drinks is plenty. I would rather smoke an Oz in a day than have a 3rd drink. Easy. If I drink more than 2 drinks, I get violently sick because my body can't physically do more than 1 or 2 drinks. How do you go to a barbecue and stop yourself from eating 50 burgers? How do you get behind the wheel of a car and not go 200 miles per hour every time? My brother and I have started calling it drinking in moderation. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but if you make a conscious effort it is very possible. I drink like 5-6 drinks every few months and any more than that would make me feel like shit the next day so no thank you. I only get what I plan to drink, so I have no choice but to stop. Can't drink too much if you don't have enough to do so. Ask yourself why you're drinking. Journal about this outside drinking sessions. In the moment when you're drinking, as the bottle opening touches your lips, ask yourself why am I doing this? I wasn't a beer guy but rather a whiskey straight kind of guy. Have enough bad experiences with alcohol and realize it isn't worth getting shit-faced. Nothing wrong with a few drinks though. I've only known like 1 or 2 people who could drink that many beers in one night. One of them got sober in prison, the other got sober after he was fired for showing up drunk to work. If you have the desire and physical capacity to handle that much alcohol, you've got a serious problem brewing. I feel this post is for me. I drink between 1 and 2 bottles of wine a night and know I should stop. I've already had 2 TIA events and my doctors are concerned. I know my family would like me to stop but I'm not sure if I can, because I hate losing control. I am the pilot of my own fleshy ship and I don't like handing over the controls to a stupid and impulsive person who I will have to take all the consequences of his actions. Also I enjoy beer that has flavor, and it's much harder to drink 15 IPAs than 15 Coronas. Beer is disgusting mo. If I am in the mood to have a drink I'll usually limit it to 2 or 3 max. A large margarita is enough to give me a buzz but not make me feel like crap. I hate getting sloshed and feeling like shit the next morning. Pretty simple to me. I can have 1 drink and I'm good for the night. A DK. Different brain chemistry. The hangovers are too much at my age, ain't worth it. 1-3 drinks is enough to feel something and enjoy the taste without being hungover for 3 days lol. If it's a proper social situation, and the banter is flowing, I often won't. This happens for me once or twice a year I reckon and I can easily sink 8 drinks or so. Otherwise, I limit myself to 2 or 3 on nights when I do drink because it affects my sleep and if I had to choose between good sleep and booze there'd be no contest. Sleep every time. It sounds like you might have an issue with addiction, in which case you probably shouldn't drink at all. If you have trouble not killing half a 30 rack every time you crack one, That is a definite sign of alcoholism. Hangover is what stops me. As one gets older, the day after is so much tougher, and since I hate feeling bad, I rarely drink more than 3 cocktails. At first it was money really, now however, I'm tired of how shit I feel the next day, so I stopped altogether. Only drink a bit every now and then on occasion. If you can't stop yourself from getting into 16-18 beers on a single evening despite wanting to, I think you might be past try to help. This sounds to me like a full-fledged addiction already. 16-18, that a lot. My rule of thumb advice I give to people is, if you said hold my beer with every can you drank, would your friend be able to hold him? If not, there might be a problem. The thought of any form of hangover stops me at an absolute 3-drink max, but normally only drinks. I am a mom with kids, and no one wants a hangover when you're dealing with children. Also, I don't want to waste a day or two hungover. It's just not worth it for me. Because the morning is coming fast, I can't be hungover at work or take care of my kids. Once you get older, hangovers are brutal. I used to drink whiskey through a fire hose all night and wake up fresh as a daisy. Now if I have more than 3 drinks, I'm a mess for 36 hours, not worth it anymore. Don't miss it actually. Smoking pot legal state US is much better. Hey op, you and I sound alike. I quit 4 years ago. It was hard. But if you want some help, lots is available. You're on the right track. Easy. I drink liquor. You won't drink 16-18 beers, instead you'll drink 1.5 liters of the cheapest rock gut.